kind of into it. Do I have a crush on Wesley Stickler? Maybe I do. Hello everybody and welcome back to Apollo Justice. Not that you could keep count, but this is the 4th time in the last 10 minutes that I've had to do this intro, and I'm a little sick of it. So why don't we just go ahead? As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two!" I cried, with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
I see, so you attempted to stop the crime?
Indeed, with composure.
Oh, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shouted like that.
That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, let's go. What you got for a Stickler, eh?
Hold it!
Oh, I need to turn off the text skip. 1 second. Little trip to the text skip box. Gonna turn it off. So you saw a raised pistol! Weren't you frightened? It can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw that pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action.
That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot.
Huh? You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind.
He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger.
Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed.
Hold it!
Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice? They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park. I didn't know you had a high voice, okay. I will adjust in turn. And the victim responded to that clarion call. Quite.
Hold it!
Trying to decide what voice to give Wesley. We'll see. Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time, to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step. I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Ugh, it's just this guy. The bone structure, though, I gotta give it credit. Like the eyelashes, the bone structure. Wait, has he got a back fade? No. Wesley. No, that's surely not. Oh, that's so funny if he does. Damn. Like, that is not, I would not have seen that coming. That'd be like if he had like a SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Like, Stickler's Jams. Oh, fucking hell. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly? He seemed quite surprised, especially considering it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked. A common tale, but true. Unfortunately, before I could take further action... I feel like this is that's the statement there, but we'll go through all the statements anyway. You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It all happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't the time. Doesn't something about that strike you as odd, Apollo?
Huh? What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes.
In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find something? Find what? Apollo.
I like that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. Oh, what do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little clearer.
She's right! Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Yeah, maybe you can, Apollo. Maybe you can. Alright, what you got? Wait, it was found at the crime scene, so... Wait, but then... What the fuck's this? Objection! No! God damn it! Oh, I'm so bad at this game. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor!
I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, I must be on the wrong track. Alright, we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it, because there's no shame in saving it. And at a certain point, I just have to, because I'm not very good at this game. Okay. Tossing a pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Alright, what? Don't...
What does it mean? What does it mean?
Okay, that's Walkie's checkup, but that doesn't help. Fingerprints are wiped. So, what the heck? Yeah, wait. But the fingerprints are wiped, so... But okay. I did present it, right? Objection! Did I just not? Did I present something else? Okay, whatever. Wait a second!
Just another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you.
This guy's kind of spitting truth sometimes, I will say. He did use the word gestalt in the last episode, which tells me that this guy is autistic. Like, that you don't come across the word gestalt unless you're autistic. Like, the autistic ones know. Like, we know. Come again?
Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that? A single second, 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes, 35 seconds, then...
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor.
am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second?
Yes! I mean, no! Here, just look at the pistol! It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it!
A common ploy made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television.
This guy with his fucking fade and those cheekbones, the lips, the eyelashes. Oh my god, he could spout right-wing talking points all day and I'd be like, look at this boy. Like...
Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran!
That's right! He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints!
There's a little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little!
Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein?
Eh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice,
Could the killer have been wearing gloves?
Nah, mate, nah.
The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you said it did, he wouldn't have time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled.
That spray is so good. Why am I suddenly coming around to Wesley Stickler? I mean, if Okay, you're gonna see how this case pans out, but at least in this first half, I'm very much enjoying. He's just a little guy wearing his fucking graduation robes with his back fade and all the mascara in the world. Like, I'm kind of into it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into it. Do I have a crush on Wesley Stickler? No, I don't. Maybe I do. Nope. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds solid to me. Well, forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work!
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. Wow, that was really poignant what I just said. It's a good thing I trained my voice to say it.
What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said?
Huh? Isn't what obvious?
When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Wacky drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Wacky threw away.
You're right!
He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect, and yet so wrong.
Oh, don't I know it! I used to be a perfectionist. I kind of still am, but it's something I'm working out in therapy, which is good because perfectionism is a curse. It's an illusion. You can't be perfect in what you do. You just have to do what you do. You know? You know.
Well, it can be stated that I'm quite offended! While it is indeed true that once in my youth I wrote a love letter in my own blood that was seized by the teacher and posted on the blackboard for all to see, and for this the appellation poor might be well prefixed to my name, yet first the issue at hand.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of vibing with Wesley. That's something that, like, pre-transition, pre-therapy Danica would do. Just write, like, a fucking love letter and then just get caught and have it be, like, displayed and embarrassed. Oh.
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol,
then it had to be something else! I'm here! I say things as well! Trucy isn't the one leading this defense! At least the one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Ugh! I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin! And then I'll put it back on because I like to see it! I like to see your pretty face! And the smile! I ship them so hard, I really do.
Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene?
Okay. I mean, it's the thing that was found at the scene, right?
Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movie last night.
Just Judgy staying up watching movies and seeing a knife and being like, that's a sword! I know I'm just describing to you what happened, but sometimes it just needs a second explanation to really process, okay, guys? Great! A sleep-deprived judge! This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves!
Indeed.
Oh, forehead, you're forgetting two other things you've just proven.
Huh?
One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Voki Kataki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh!
Indeed.
Never underestimate a Gavin is the lesson here. Just gonna get a quick sippy whippy of some water. And if you're wondering if I did have to say the word sippy whippy, of course I did. You fool. If I took a sip, the effect would be very different. I would not be this amused with myself.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to really hear about what happened. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark had never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming... Yes, that's what I said. Assuming... As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
Not into. I definitely don't have a crush on it, but I do want to like follow him around with like a little boom mic and a camera, just to see what he gets up to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so curious. Okay, that's a word to describe it. Not bi-curious. I mean, I'm bi, so yes, I am bi. You know what? This has gone far off track. Quick burp.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
A little bit more water. That one wasn't a sippy whippy. The effect is very different. You'll see. I could not prevent... Oh, wait, no, I've seen this. Wait, have I done this? No, I haven't. I could not prevent the crimble... What's the word? I could not prevent a killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. 10 minutes later? Hold on. Does that contradict anything? Does it say how quickly the... 10:45 ballroom temple? No, it doesn't. What am I looking for here exactly? I don't know. We'll find out by pressing the statements.
Why didn't you chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down. Yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that.
Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
I'd better find a way to take this testimony down. Quick!
Yeah, alright, let's do it. You know, I'm coming around to the way that they've done the cross-examination, like, the shots of the eyes. It does look stylish, I'll give them that. I think if they had done it first, as opposed to, like, showing the cut across, you know, like in the DS version, the 3DS version, it will, like, split the screen in two, kind of, and I like that a lot. I feel like this is also fine. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, what you got, Stickler?
Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear that the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kentucky Mansion. It's just like, that would mean he ran in the opposite direction.
Oh, Apollo, you definitely are here. You're on the team. You're doing your best.
Achtung! Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back round after he was out of sight. Oh, how did he know that's where I was going? You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that drops upon one's flask upon the lab room floor.
Ooh, cool answer. Very cool.
so nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. If only there was a way to ask her. Also, that dude and Clavier, just... Are we just going to ignore the way that they just behaved there? I guess we are. Okay. Wasn't your first thought... Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the forehead, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's going to cry. So dramatic, such a dramatic bitch. I love it. Like, give me the drama, Wesley. Yes, let's go. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park.
So he just stood there, watching? Huh. Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you've got something to say, by all means, say it. Ah! I can't find a single problem with that testimony!
Had enough at last, forehead.
Maybe it's time to back off a bit.
No?
The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor.
Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin.
Oh, let him play attorney till he's satisfied, I say. I will amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head.
Very well, you may continue with the cross-examination.
Oh, okay, maybe I should drop it. Use your cell phone call, please? Is this yours? I mean, I don't think that's the case. You know what? Let's give it a quick savey wavy. And the savey wavy, those of you who remember, is very different from a regular save. I won't explain why. Okay. Leave. Use your cell phone to call the police. Does this say what happened? Interest. Could have dropped it. This isn't. Is this? This isn't gonna help us at all. Okay. I saw no one else. Okay. Wait a second. Nope. Okay. Let's just do the thing. Blah 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 blah.
Maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in this testimony after all.
Some of us have glamorous careers we'd like to get back to this month, forehead.
They don't have enough to put Walkie away yet. Should I back off for now? There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all!
It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony.
There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion.
No! No!
Huh. Am I in the bad ending zone? I don't remember. Interesting.
It seems we've come to the end of the line here.
No! That can't be all!
How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me.
Virtue, forehead.
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Waki Kataki.
Druzy! Nobody move.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you?
There'll be no verdict in the court. Not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Katakis?
The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters?
If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of...
Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman.
Ugh.
Recess 20 minutes or I promise you, you'll regret it.
Wait! How'd he disappear so fast? Come to the defendant's lobby, Apollo.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man!
Quite the plot twist! Eh, viewers? Guess you'll have to find out on next week's episode of Apollo Justice. For real, stay gay, everyone. Stay hydrated. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.